Bike lanes are being built to help protect cyclists and encourage biking. But do they? Around 857 bikers die every year due to unsafe conditions in bike lanes. I was almost part of this statistic even when I was in a bike lane, a motorist cut me off in an intersection, barely missing me. I had assumed I These bike lanes provide a false sense of security that may cause the cycler to let down their guard. As Jane E. Brody explains in the New York Times, are bike lanes really safe? Many cyclists text or listen to music while riding, all because of a false sense of security. Bike lanes also encourage inexperienced bikers to ride out in the road, and these bikers are just not ready for the challenges the city poses. Many of these people tend to lack the proper equipment, such as helmets, and in low visibility conditions, brightly colored clothing or reflective tape on the bicycle or person. Many drivers and pedestrians believe bike lanes take up valuable space. This promotes road rage as drivers and bikers fight for the space. Cars park near or on bike lanes if they can't find space, and this leads to crashes as inept or oblivious cyclists hit, dent, or scratch their cars. Bike lanes also leave pedestrians at risk of being hit by a bicycle, especially in front of busy stores or hotels. As James Barron states in the New York Times, where bicyclists, doormen, and tourists battle for the turf, pedestrians have been injured or even killed by bikes plowing into them, and cyclists have been wounded in crashes with cars. But many government officials still argue that bike lanes are part of the future of clean transportation in the city, a form of transportation that doesn't require the use of fossil fuels. They argue that by cutting down car emissions, people would be reducing around 12.4% of the carbon dioxide produced by cars. However, is cutting down emissions by a tiny fraction worth more than the lives of people? By installing bike lanes and encouraging people to bike, government officials only cut down 12.4% of all car emissions. On top of the low emission cut down, bike lanes kill around 6,935 people each year. Without bike lanes, bikers can still bike on the side of the street. However, the difference is that they will be more alert, as they will have to look out for cars. As Jeff Johnson from the Washington Post explains in an example, cyclists often feel they have the right of way, and don't pay much attention to what is around them when using the protected bike lane. So without bike lanes, a biker's false sense of security can be eliminated. Without that false sense of security, bikers would be encouraged to buy proper equipment and prevent accidents. Bike lanes get around thousands of cyclists, pedestrians, and drivers killed each year. So why install them in the first place? We should petition for them to be removed so that people can bike on the sides of the street without that false sense of security.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. All right, feedback, preferably from people I haven't heard much from yet. Anthony, what do you got?
All right, so I'll be reading the one on day 8.
No, Anthony, we're giving feedback now. Bro, give me a piece of feedback for Ben.
I was a bit confused on why we're moving on so quickly.
Yeah, that explains it, yes.
All right, so a positive feedback. Ben did a good job of hooking in the reader as he start off the article code by questioning the common consensus.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you for that. Eileen, give me something.
It's easy to understand, the essay.
Yeah, good. Any constructive feedback? Yeah, Jessica?
Well, I'm pretty sure those typos were just an accident, but maybe you could recheck over the op-ed again just to make sure.
Yeah. And this is definitely a creative op-ed in arguing that bike lanes make people dangerous or are dangerous. We've talked about this, Ben, but good. Thank you for presenting ideas, creative ideas. That's important. Okay. It's